This innovation segment is brought to you by IBM. See what the world's making today. Made with IBM.
Meeting with a lawyer can be time-consuming, expensive, and even intimidating for some. Now, a Canadian company is attempting to solve that problem with affordable legal services inside big-box retail stores. Mark Morris is the co-founder of Axess Law. We spoke earlier, and I started by asking him exactly how his business works.
So the business model is very simple. We found an underserved need in the legal market, and that was people were not accessing lawyers, and we tried to make it accessible. So we put ourselves into retail locations, such as Walmart, and right now we're in Walmarts across the GTA, and you can come into our offices 7 days a week and meet with a lawyer and take care of your basic legal needs. Your real estate closings, your wills, your notary services, those types of things.
And the way you bill for that is also a little different, correct?
Yes. We've adopted a flat fee approach because what retail customers expect when they walk into a Walmart or any other retail store, a best practice is that what you see is what you get. So your pricing model has to be commensurate with that when you're within their stores servicing legal clients. So we would have flat fees for our real estate closings, for our wills, for our power of attorneys, for our notary services.
Why Walmart?
Well, Walmart is a natural partner. For one thing, its size and its scope means that we're able to take a model that we've developed and put it across the country in an effective manner. But we also find that their approach to retail mimics ours. It's a no-nonsense approach that's designed to get you what it is you need at an affordable price, in a convenient way, at hours that work for you and in neighborhoods that work for you.
I can see that the pricing model could be very appealing to people, especially people who are worried about hiring a lawyer and maybe getting hours and hours and hours of bills that they weren't expecting to have originally. One of the things that might concern people, though, would be whether or not you can give them enough time.
Sure, and I could see that being a concern of someone who hasn't used our service. But those people who do use our service find that the time is actually ample. After all, what we are delivering are tried and true services, and we know how long it takes, and we know what questions we need to address. Now, we do set aside additional time for every client in case they have additional questions, but those questions, from our perspective, are largely routine, because what we are doing is answering those same questions over and over and over again for people. We find that when people leave, they are fully satisfied, they understand the documentation that we have provided to them, and they understand the service that is expected of us and what we are going to deliver on.
So what happens if somebody comes in to see you with a more complex case, a really messy divorce, or something that's just going to take an amount of time that would not make it reasonable for you to take on the client?
Sure. Well, part of our training is informing our lawyers of types of files that they should not be taking on. And complexity breeds problems, and at the end of the day is something that we are not taking on presently at Axess Law. In fact, what we are about are commoditized legal services at present. And what that means is services that are largely the same for almost every client. I'll give you an example. When a loving couple walks in and they say, hey, we want to leave a will one to one another, and we want to leave everything equally to our children. Well, that happens to us in 95% of cases of people who want wills, and therefore it is a document with which we are intimately familiar. Alternatively, if someone were to come in and say, I'd like to leave unequally to my children, or I want to disinherit someone, or produce a fact scenario that ultimately may give rise to litigation, at that point, we are trained to pass this on over to a referral source.
Do you have a hard time finding lawyers who want to work in Walmart?
We are able, through our service model, to offer lawyers a work-life balance that they actually cannot find out there in the legal world. We have many people who have children at home and who ultimately want to be able to leave at a set time, not take work back with them, and we actually have a workforce that is very enthused by the principles of Axess Law, which is accessibility to the Canadian public, and at the same time they get their work-life balance back. So for us, it's a win-win.
Mark Morris, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.